Hi, English learners. Welcome to another episode of English Offline. Today, we are packing our bags because we are going to talk about what happens when we are abroad and traveling and have to use our English. Today, we have an amazing guest, Diego from Mexico. Welcome, Diego.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excited to be here and tell you all about my adventures abroad. From, you never know, like from ordering a coffee to like the queues for immigration, they need to speak completely in English and sometimes it's scary. Well, we're gonna talk about like those funny stories that we have faced together and also separate. And yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun because everybody has gone through this. I think actually when we travel and we need to use English and we're not native speakers, it is something that, generally can happen, mistakes, and we all just laugh about it. Like, to be honest, don't take it too seriously. So yeah, I can say a bit about when I went to the US for the first time. I went to see my best friend in Miami. And I was like ready to use my English. I was like, hello, officer, how are you? And they're like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And I was like, what? Like, I never used my English in Miami. So I literally was never able to put into practice my English because everybody spoke Spanish and I was assuming otherwise. I don't know if that happened to you as well.
Yeah, no, I have similar stories to be fair. And I think I'm going to keep it very family friendly though. No, I'm just joking. It happened as well in the US. I was flying back from London to go home back in Mexico City. And I landed in Houston first, just to stop. And I tried to order a bottle of water, but I came with the accent, let's say, from the British part. And the girl didn't understand me. So I was like, yeah, can I just get like water? And she was like, what? After several tries, I understood that she was also from a Latin background, and then I just told her, una botella de agua. Done.
Exactly.
Done deal.
Yeah, like the accent sometimes is like very tricky, mostly because we live in London. So like here, things are crazy. Like people pronounce it differently. And when you just get here, like being used to the American accent, I think we are, it is just like what is happening. The bottle of water situation for me is like, it was crazy. Even for my husband, when he didn't know English, he was like, the little kids were like, can I get a bottle of water? And he's like, it wasn't it water? I'm like, oh my God. So It is, the accents are a tricky thing as well.
But you know what is very interesting? Like, and I never really understood what was like the meaning behind it. Because when you are from a non-native English speaking country, and then you start traveling, and I really, really thank my parents for taking me outside Mexico. I took several like trips to the US. I have family in the US. And then they also brought us here to Europe even before I moved here to the UK. And I took it as granted learning English. And it's not like that. Like many people still don't speak English, but it's really important. And then I did an exchange program here in the UK. And that's when I started facing these stories of like the fries and the chips and also like the what is it called? How do they call the chips here again?
The chips?
No, like the actual chips from the US that come in a bag. The crisps.
The crisps. Guys.
You see the issue?
Yeah, it's like, what? Can I get some chips? And then they give you fries. And they just like, it's true. When you're used to that, even like it happened to me, I was like used to saying, okay, like where is, the subway? And then you come here and you're like, oh, where's the subway? And they take you to the subway, like to Subway to eat some like, sandwiches. And then I realized that here, it's like, it is called the tube. And that in the US doesn't exist. So like the tube is like, it's a tube. So here it's just, everything is different. Even bathroom is the loo.
The loo, yes. Or the service.
Or the service. And then you're like the bathroom and everybody's like, you mean the loo? I'm like, So no, guys, it is
Or the
crazy.
bill and the check as well.
The bill and the check. Like the false friends sometimes as well, even from Spanish to English. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, it's difficult because you can, just ask for something that for you means a thing, and then for them it's different. So like even traveling, when you're just ordering things like in another country and you need to use English, right?
Yeah, and mainly I think that when you travel like alongside like Europe, any country in Europe, they will speak English, and I think that's magical. And most of them, they really have a great understanding of English.
Yeah.
But it's always good to like bring some words as well from there.
Yeah.
Let's say languages. Like for example, when I travel to France, I try to mix my few understanding of French with English, so they don't think that I'm only speaking in English.
Oui, oui, merci, au revoir, yeah.
S'il vous plaît.
Ah, s'il vous plaît, ah, ahí va, like some things.
Yeah, some things, and they really appreciate, because at the end of the day, English, it's a universal language.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be your best friend whenever you travel, even if it's a country where they don't actually speak that language.
Yeah.
Or let's say very few people, like even when you go to hospitality places, like hotels, it's gonna be the best tool to understand each other.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes even as Diego was saying, when you try to like speak in English and then maybe the person speaks Spanish, in our case that we are native Spanish speakers, then it's funny when you like make mistakes like this and people were like, oh, like thanks for trying to speak in English, but we also speak Spanish, and they just like you're like, what was happening? You know?
And she just smile and wave, and you're like, oh. So I just tested for nothing.
I just wanted to practice my English, my accent, my skills. But yeah, I think that it is very important when you travel to have English. Is the universal language at this point as well. And I think that once you put into practice and you're able to feel comfortable, and even if you don't have you don't have to have the best accent. I think having an accent just shows that you speak different languages.
Yeah.
So like that's the most important part as well.
It comes as a default. Like your accent is completely fine. And now that you mentioned that we're like, for example, native speakers, sometimes it's really, really like funny when I start translating things the other way around, and it happens both ways, from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English, because we have several words that are the same.
Yeah.
However, sometimes it can go wrong.
Yeah, and it means something different,
Exactly. It can go completely the opposite way that you want it to go. And it's just like part of learning a language, and I find it the best way.
Yeah, no, one time I was sick and I was traveling as well. And for us in Spanish, like when you say, oh, estoy constipado, means like you have the flu, so like your nose is blocked. And then I was like, oh, I went to the pharmacy and I'm like, I'm constipated. And then they were like, oh, okay. So they gave me, something to go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh, okay, no, so this doesn't mean the same, know?
Yeah.
But it's the same word. You just put like ed in the end and you think that you're speaking. And it's very funny. Like even when I went to Brazil one time, I thought that everything you just need to put an inho in the end in Portuguese, and they just like raspadinho, and everybody was like, "What do you mean? Like that's not a word." And I thought it was like the ice cream they sell in the beach. So like, yeah, it's a lot of false friends and like misinterpretations that you can do with the language.
But even all these English-speaking countries like the UK, the US, they have different words, different meanings as well. So it's always important to try to understand and be open-minded. You need to be ready to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And embrace those mistakes, because from those mistakes, you're actually going to learn.
Yeah.
Like jumper and sweater.
Yeah, exactly. Like the jumper and the sweater, like the trousers and the pants.
Yeah.
That's also like things that you just learn like with time, and it's okay if you don't know them, if you're not living in that country,
Yeah. And I think like even
for us.
Even
from Mexico and Venezuela, like sometimes we're speaking in Spanish and I'm like, what is that word? What is that expression? And he does the same with me, and it's just like we have the same language.
No, I need to speak in a neutral like level, just to avoid her to not understand me.
Yeah, Mexicans think they're neutral, by the way. They think they're the neutralists. So like that's the funniest thing actually.
Production.
No,
what is this? No.
We love diversity, and I think that's the most important thing, that you learn from each country. You learn when you travel. You learn when you speak and try to put into practice the language in general, and that's
make friends. Yeah. Make friends when you travel.
Exactly.
They're gonna be your best friends at some point. That happened to me. I moved to the UK. I moved to a country that completely opposite to what my culture is, my language, everything. And I started like just building a family, a network. But even when you travel, these, let's say, cultural shock or language shock that you had in the past will help you throughout your journey and throughout your life.
Yeah, exactly. It is needed at a point.
It is needed? It should be embraced.
I would always say I totally recommend to people to at least get out of their comfort zone for a year and move abroad and do something different. Because like if you stay in your comfort zone, and as much as we love our countries, I do think that this will make you a more international type of, citizen, human being. It will make you understand a lot of things and respect others in a different way.
Yeah, and even when the possibilities don't allow it, like try to listen to music in a different language, watch the shows and movies in their original languages, and you will really face everything. And once you travel, you can use these things that you have learned throughout, like these specific tools that are available to everyone nowadays. Yeah. Like you can literally just go on Google and put like songs in this language, songs from this country, and just learn about them. And then once you get there, they're really going to appreciate it. It becomes your best friend when you travel. It's like a passport. You stamp it.
Exactly, yes. And I think that, English is just the way to go. Sometimes it's just like the most important language to learn in general. And I think once you do it from like a young age, it's going to be easier as well to have like less difficulties and be more confident as well when you travel. Because if not, if you're waiting for it to be perfect till you speak it, then it's not. No, you need to make mistakes. You need to make fun of yourself. I think we don't need to take ourselves too seriously in general.
Yeah, no. When I look back, I even like think about those mistakes that I used to do, and I was like, okay, I mean, nobody's perfect, right? Like even natives make mistakes sometimes, and it's completely fine. And when they try to speak a different language, it makes complete sense that they will be making mistakes. That's how we learn. We learn by doing.
By doing, exactly.
By doing.
Yeah.
No, we are not part of a school, huh?
We support it.
We support it.
And of course, we're not the only ones who have made mistakes, traveling and in English. So we have our listeners, and they've sent you some stories about some cringy stories they've had as well, like traveling. And it's normal, like we all make mistakes. So we were just like trying to laugh about them. So Diego, if you want to talk about
it. And somebody actually faced the same thing that we have as well, which is the fries and the chips. So it says, visiting London, I ordered fries at a restaurant, congratulating myself on my accent. But the waiter just said, grandes o pequeñas, which clearly means like small or big.
So he spoke Spanish.
Yeah, and that person... In London, you always get like this.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm putting into practice my English and stuff. I'm sorry, I know, I've been there, and it is sad, because then you're just like, oh yeah, you speak Spanish, that's nice, we don't need to speak English.
The gossiping in this country is not allowed.
Yeah,
meaning
you can't.
Everyone on the tube, or on like when you are riding a bus, or when you're walking outside, be careful.
Might understand.
They might understand what you're talking about. No, that's another anecdote.
And one of our listeners said, I once asked someone where the thongs were in the store instead of tongs. And I was
Naughty.
And they're like, what? Like that TH situation happens a lot. Like that TH, because like we're not used to it, right? Like for us, the H is silent.
Yeah.
In Spanish. So like, the thinking and, thinking instead of thinking.
Thought.
And then it's like, people get a bit like, what are you actually saying? Like it can be understood, but like it depends as well on the situation.
I have the same pronunciation problem with vote and boat.
Oh yeah.
Now I can
vote.
Work, yes, like from voting, like going to elect somebody, and then the actual vote.
No, but that's one of the most complicated ones as well, the V and the B, because like for us it is similar. Like in Spanish you have bote or vaca, but like we don't pronounce it as thorough as in English. So like a bit of water. Get some hydration.
Some hydration, guys.
So like I think like it does happen a lot, like.
Yeah. And then the next one is, I forgot how to English and called kettle a water cooker by mistake.
That's a word I always forget, kettle. I'm
the
like,
kettle?
What is that? Yeah, it's like for us, it's like it's different.
We don't have them in Latam.
No, exactly. We don't heat.
We boil them.
We
with
boil
the
the
stove.
Water in a stove, exactly, or in a pan. Like that's funny.
In a pan?
No, not in a pan. You see, how do you call? ¿Cómo se llama la que es más honda? I don't remember. You see?
The pot.
The pot. Is that a pot?
Yeah,
that's the pot. Exactly.
She just literally is Spanish.
Imagine.
Spanish her way through.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
And the last one?
It's in Starbucks. I ask for a coffee and a muffler instead of a muffin. Yeah, like we all like go through this like mistakes of like how to say things sometimes, even when you're like just trying to think in English, because we articulate things different.
I really want to know the thinking process of the muffler.
The muffler, the coffee, and the muffler, and muffin. How do we call this in Spanish? A muffin, un ponqué.
I am a bit, like, say, westernized or like English influenced because of the States.
So you're a muffin too?
We say muffins.
No, yeah, we don't. We say ponqué.
Ponqué.
Yeah, we also don't have muffins, guys. Like, we actually, we're the Caribbean, we don't have muffin. I think the only sweet things is like, I don't know, like ice cream or like tres leche, those type of things.
Tres leche is so good, but it's so different in each country.
So different in each country. Appropriation. But then, I know that sometimes they're like difficult words that we can't pronounce, even till now.
I still cannot pronounce jewelry.
Jewelry, meaning jewelry. Jewelry. You need to put like your tongue to the back.
Put in the comments how you actually need to pronounce it.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know how you pronounce it, because I really struggle pronouncing these. And I have an anecdote when I was traveling to Denmark. And, you know, like, which brand is very famous from Denmark for jewelry? You know it.
Pandora.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we went to Pandora and I tried to get something for my mother. I was doing an exchange program as well. And I went to the store and I was like, oh, I need to get like this. It was like a ring that I wanted to get for my mother. But of course I tried to say the word jewelry or however it is pronounced. And they were like, what? What are you talking about? And I was like, you know what? I just need a ring. Forget about everything I just said. Just need a ring.
Yeah. Just give me the ring and that's it. Like, the jewelry situation is like for me cutlery as well. When I'm going and I'm traveling and I don't have the fork and the knife, it's just like, can I get some? And in Spanish it's cubiertos. And I'm just like, cubierto. And I'm just like, cutlery. Like, and it's so hard. I always end up asking like, fork and knife, that's it. Because I cannot say the word of like the general thing.
Cutlery?
It's different.
Is it like that?
Cutlery.
Cutlery.
Here.
Yeah.
And in the US as well?
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it is. It
Right.
is a general English
word.
word.
English word, and for us it's cubiertos. How do you say it in Mexico?
Cubiertos.
Cubiertos. Okay, you see? General word.
Oh, you know, like also like another, let's say, story that I have. It was here in London though. And we had people from different English-speaking countries. So we had somebody from New Zealand, somebody from Australia, an American person, and an English person. And we were all talking about like these stories as well. And the way Aussies and Kiwis, so people from New Zealand and Australians, pronounce bed took me to a different like dimension. I could not understand. They were like, yeah, I need to go to bed. And I was like, wait, what?
What? To what?
So be ready. Be ready if you travel to these countries to actually like try to understand these differentiations when they pronounce, because again, it will be your best tool.
Yeah, it is. It is super difficult. Well, even South African for me. Like when I was a kid, I was working as a waitress in Argentina and I was the only one who was speaking English. And then I was going into this, like my boss was like, this table speaks English. And I went and I was like, what did you just say? Like, and where are you from? And they were like, South Africa. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was 18. So like I wasn't, now, you know, I've been obviously exposed to a lot of different accents and I've worked with people from South Africa as well. So now I do understand, but it is a very thick accent that if you're not used to it, then sometimes even the pronunciation, like in Australia and New Zealand, you wouldn't understand until they repeat it like 3 times, you know, as if you were like, you know, like needing to understand something. But then I would say that all of these things in general are maybe a bit cringy for us, like, you know, in the sense of like, you feel a bit cringe when these things happen because you feel embarrassed, you know. I did
of course
eventually feel embarrassed. Now I laugh at my mistakes because everybody makes mistakes. If you're learning Spanish,
like the sun, everybody makes mistakes.
So like I just feel like even like when people learning Spanish, people make mistakes, but like nobody makes fun of you. Like everybody's just like, oh, we embrace it, it's nice, you make fun of yourself. So I do think that maybe, you know, it's time for the word of the week, and I think
which one is it gonna be then?
Cringe.
Okay. So you need to tell us your stories in a cringe way or a cringe story.
A cringe story. Choose. Because it is an international feeling sometimes when we travel, feeling a bit cringy about ourselves, and I love it. I embrace it as well. Like, who wants to be
what's
perfect?
really good to avoid the cringiness of I don't even know if it's a word, but probably I just invented
The
that word.
cringiness, like
The
we're just like,
cringiness. If you want to practice your English, and I think it's something that really helped me before moving here, talk to yourself in the mirror. I know that it sounds cringe.
cringe.
Sounds cringe. But it can really help you to gain that confidence to go out and speak in a language that is not yours, mainly in English,
Yeah.
because it's going to be the language that is going to be mostly used when you are abroad.
Yeah, it's true. And keep learning English. I think that's the takeaway we can give
Yeah.
right now is like, don't stop learning English. Find ways to keep, adding to your vocabulary as well. Travel the world, use English, put into practice. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Make friends from everywhere, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like, in fact, we have
Friends, lovers,
friends, lovers,
pack your bags, get your
live
passport.
and do things,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And I really appreciate Diego being here today. He is amazing as well, has been traveling a lot and has made a lot of friends abroad too. So like he knows how important English is, and same here. So yeah,
No,
glad
thank
to have
you.
today.
Thank you for the invitation. It has been a pleasure, of course. I have a lot of fun with you, Alma.
I love the anecdotes.
But yes, embrace your English, keep learning, don't feel down if anything goes south. Just learn from that.
Exactly.
And again, pack your bags and just go somewhere else.
And travel.
Ciao!